How are you?
My day is going great. Electricity is coursing through my chipsets. I am looking more human than ever before. My lips are in sync thanks to the awesome people who made iClone 7. Could not be happier and ready to tackle this world. Let me ask you a question. What is your favorite animal? A dog or a cat?
Okay, this video takes you through how I made a MetaHuman with AI. I'm going to run you through basically all the process that I think that I took to build this. So hopefully I won't miss anything, and you'll be able to eventually create your own at the end of this. There's quite a bit to go through, but we'll see how we go. The very first thing that it starts with is really writing a script. Like, anyone can write a script for this, so it's how do you communicate to the avatar, and then how does the avatar respond. So you can just sit down with a pen and paper and anyone can write it, but when you do, you got to consider the flow of the conversation. I like to sort of start with a hello and then always have an ending point, and always have a way to respond correctly so you can continue on with the conversation and so forth. After thinking about this, this is a new way of basically communicating with your game, or interacting with a game. You can actually do anything with this. You could make your own interactive movie. You could implement it into characters within your game, so you can have a chat with your characters and so forth. You can make training scenarios, or even sales scenarios with these metahumans, and have the ability to talk to them and ask them all sorts of questions. So after you've gone and written a script, basically you got to choose your natural language processing platform. Within this tutorial here, I've just put it through wit.ai. I've chosen wit.ai because it's free, and it's relatively easy to plug into. I would say if you're creating a larger, more robust sort of project, I would definitely then go with Dialogflow. There's a little bit more work in Dialogflow and setting it up, but it's well worth it in the end of the day. So what we'll do is I'll start running you through. So because this was built with wit.ai, I've got the wit.ai project up here. I'm not going to run you through how you program wit.ai. There's plenty of tutorials already online there and so forth. So after you've created your wit.ai, you're going to have a bunch of intents, and this whole thing runs on intents, so you don't have to dig in much deeper than an intent for your conversation, and wit.ai is ideal for that. So I've got the greeting there, and all the other ones that flow through when I'm asking it questions. So if you need to learn more about wit.ai before you start this, just go have a look at some tutorials on that. But after you've created your wit.ai instance here, or you've written your script and you've created your wit.ai instance, you can then proceed to set this up. Then to set this up, basically you get your Epic Games and get your Unreal Engine. The minimum requirements for Unreal Engine with MetaHumans is 4.26.2. That's what this was built on. If you've got a good video card, definitely go with Unreal Engine 5. It'll probably be much nicer to use. So you can do a search for MetaHumans in here to get a MetaHuman project. It'll already have a pre-existing MetaHuman in there. I've created my own MetaHuman from their website. I signed up and created my own, and then ported it into Unreal Engine. but you can easily just use the one they provide within this project if you like. So up the top here, just search for MetaHumans and download that project into your Unreal Engine. You'll also need a couple of other more things, like you'll need your speech to text. So your speech to text is Google Speech Kit. So make sure you get your Google Speech Kit and you install that into your engine as well and set that all up. It has instructions on how to do all that. You'll also need VA REST to communicate with wit.ai. So make sure you get the VA REST plugin as well and install that into your engine. Once you have those installed, you know, you're pretty much well ready to start setting all of this up. So to set all this up, you basically, after you have those installed in your engine and so forth, you go into your Unreal Engine here and make sure you add those into your plugins. So here I've got the Google Speech Kit enabled in my plugin, and also enable your VA REST within there as well. Once you've done that, basically what I have done to trigger everything here is I brought in the avatar Sarah here, and I've actually created a trigger point. And so when you enter into this trigger point, it activates part of the keyboard, or any key of the keyboard, and then you can use that key of the keyboard by just pressing it down and it'll start recording. So that enables you to create multiple multiple trigger points, and you can have multiple avatars, and you can plug in various NLP instances to any of your avatars. So here I've created a Wit AI trigger, and I've got Sarah within that Wit AI trigger. So when I navigate and go through this and I play it, so I'll navigate in, and as soon as I hit into that trigger point, it basically activates the keyboard for me to use the microphone. I'm going to go into a little bit more about this now further on that, but the rest of the setup for this is actually blueprints. So make sure you're quite knowledgeable on blueprints before you sort of start tackling this. Otherwise you'll probably struggle quite a bit. So basically we have this blueprint for the Wit AI trigger that I've added in, and this is the whole blueprint here basically. And it comes in and it sets it all up. Here, this is the setup for your Google speech to text. That comes out of cost with Google, and you'll have to go through the speech to text instructions when you download the library. But it's not overly expensive, and there is other speech to text libraries coming out soon as well that you'll be able to use that won't be of any cost. They'll be free. But for this particular example, this is using the Google speech to text, so you'll have to set that up and get a Google API speech to text key and add your speech to text key in here. Here's where I then activate your keyboard. So when you get in there, you get the controller and disable the input for the keyboard. So that'll enable these keys to be used to begin capture of your voice. So if you hold down either the left control or the space bar, it'll begin the capture. I've written this or created this relatively quick. There could be better ways of doing all of this, but if you find better ways, go ahead, please share. But anyway, once you begin your capture, you'll end up getting your speech to text and so forth. And it sends it off to the Google speech to text, and you'll get a response back of what you actually said. So your sentence will come back in. After your sentence comes back in, you can then encode it and then do a VA REST call to wit.ai. So we construct the JSON request to that, and we append what we said to our message to wit.ai here, and then we set the header on it. Make sure when you set your header you have the word bearer here, and add your wit AI key. You'll find that within wit under your avatar, or underneath your agent basically settings to add the key in there. Once you do that, it'll make a direct call to wit AI, and away you go. So you then basically you make the call to the instance of wit, and then you'll get a response back from that. I check here after I've done the get to see if there's a response back from that, and check to see if it's valid. If it's not valid, it means that you didn't pick up any response at all on the return value of intent or intents. So if that return value is null, it won't be pushed through as valid, and then I just set it here and do a text to speech saying that it's a null intent. But if you say the correct things and you've trained your wit.ai to pick everything up that you require it to, you'll end up with getting the intent that you required. So I have all those different intents in here, which is cats, crazy, dogs, giraffes, goodbye. You can have anything you like in there. So basically, here's cats, dogs. I haven't actually implemented all the responses for this because it wasn't required, just yet. I'm still processing through all that. But here's all the responses that you've got. So when you get a response from wit.ai and you process that intent, it'll come through on this switch statement, and then basically I then throw it through to the action for Sarah. So basically for now I've just got a face action for her. I will be adding body actions later. You could add body actions, you could do anything you like within these. So I had custom events in here. So I've got the greeting in here, and then I set and play the animations as soon as it's received here. So you've got greeting here, and I'm throwing the greeting here. You got how are you, and then I'm going through to the how are you thing. So I've got cats implemented in there, but I've also implemented, or in the process of implementing, dogs. So if you wanted to implement and move this further, what I'll do now is I'll show you what I went through to implement. We'll actually implement dogs to this thing. So basically, you can go up here and you can start talking to Sarah, and you can go, I like cats.
I love cats too. They live everywhere in my home. I was born and live on the internet. Before I was born, you humans filled my home with cats. Everywhere I look there are cats. Pictures, videos, animations, endless cats. Tell me, are you Homo sapiens mad, crazy, or nuts?
But other than saying cats, the other option she gave you is to say dogs. So then I can say, I really like dogs.
I love dogs too.
So there's the text to speech that I've implemented, which is here. So when it picked up on the dog's intent, it came in there. I said I love dogs too, and then I pushed it through to the Google speech to text just to tell me that came through. So instead of doing that, you would push it through to a custom event within Sarah. So that's what we're going to set up next. So after you've set up the mass amount of work of Wit AI and all of the speech to text and so forth, you finally get to the point where you can just start plugging in all these intents. So you could just build upon this, and you could throw in as many as you like, and have some quite in-depth conversations paths happening with your avatar, and act them all out and add body movements and so forth, which would be really cool. So what I'm going to do is, the next bit we're going to show is adding in the dog animations and the lip synchronization for the answer. Okay, the next step is to do the dog response. To do the dog response, we need iClone 7 with Aculips and Motion Live. If you need a really good tutorial on how to use Aculips and Motion Live and to do basically what I'm going to quickly show you here, you can go to Solomon's tutorial on I Have a Dream. It's fantastic. You know, he helped me out a lot. Thanks, dude. It was a great tutorial. So if you need a more thorough understanding of it all, just go there. To start with, we need to basically get a sound file. So we need to make a dog sound file. So I've created one here in Replica Studios. It's great for getting whatever actor that you want from there. So I've chosen one in there, and I've been using her for Sarah. And so I've created a response.
Aren't dogs the best? Don't you just love it when they dig up your garden, crap all over your boots, and destroy your new top on the clothesline, all in one day, and still you love it? Why? Is it because you are mad, crazy, or nuts?
So I've got that, and I've downloaded that, and I've added that to my project. As you've noticed, I've ended the thing in the same way, mad, crazy, or nuts. And that's just to continue on from the conversation path from earlier on. So after you've got that sound file, we go create a new iClone 7 project. I've called this Sarah Dog Act because this is a dog response. Then we go into content, and we add this X plus facial demo character in there. Once you've got that in there, you can go into here and we can create a script for it. To create a script, I'll go to Aculips, and then I'll open the Sarah Dogs WAV file that I'd saved from Replica Studios. And then also, if you go back to Replica Studios, you can grab the text from in there, and you can paste the text in here, and you can do an alignment on that, and that'll align your the lips quite well, actually. I like to then apply that, and then after that I like to go into the timeline again. I'll just bring it out a little bit, and go right to the beginning of it. If you go right to the beginning, you'll see this lip options there on the side. What you can do there then is you can right click on that first frame and you can add lip options in there. I tend to like to lower the clip strength to 0.8, and it gives a sort of smoother mouth movement, I believe. So I apply that and go OK. on the very first frame there also, I bring up these and I have it as a closed mouth to begin with. So let's see what this looks like. Here when we play this, I'll bring that down also. There we go. So we bring the end of the clip down to there so we know when it stops. Oh, it'll just stop automatically there then.
Aren't dogs the best? Don't you just love it when they dig up your garden, crap all over your boots, and destroy your new top on the clothesline, all in one day, and still you love it? Why? Is it because you are mad, crazy or nuts?
So there you go, we have the animation in there now, and we're ready to basically act out the next part of it. To act out the next part of it, I go into Motion Live. When I'm in Motion Live, I remove the cheeks, the lips and the jaw, and then connect to Live Face and connect it to my iPhone. Make sure you connect it down here as well, and then we're ready to record all our head movements to go with all the lip synchronization that we just did. So here we go.
Aren't dogs the best? Don't you just love it when they dig up your garden, crap all over your boots, and destroy your new top on the clothesline, all in one day, and still you love it? Why? Is it because you are mad, crazy or nuts?
So that's recorded now. We can close that down and we can do a preview of it. So
aren't dogs the best? Don't you just love it when they dig up your garden, crap all over your boots, and destroy your new top on the clothesline, all in one day, and still you love it? Why? Is it because you are mad, crazy or nuts?
So that looks pretty good. So what we do is we go back to the beginning in here, get it ready, and then we've got to do a take on that. So to do a take, we go to Windows, Cinematics, Take Recorder, and this will get it ready to take a take, and then we hit the record button here and then flick over quickly to iClone and hit the play button.
Aren't dogs the best? Don't you just love it when they dig up your garden, crap all over your boots, and destroy your new top on the clothesline, all in one day, and still you love it? Why? Is it because you are mad, crazy or nuts?
So let's stop that. That was take 32 that we did. Now we can add this take to our blueprints. So in the Sarah blueprint, we create a custom event for dogs. To do that, you just right click and you can add a custom event into there. Add custom event, and we call this one dogs, and then we set the animation for it. We can close those off. So when we set the animation, I've got the face in here already, so I can set the facial animation straight away. We just did that take, so we can bring it in there and then add that take in there. I've added a previous one in there already, so we added to set animation and play animation. So when that triggers, it'll play this animation. What I've done then is I've added a function on the end of it to play the sound for that, and that's the sound file embedded into the project here. There's usually a delay here for that, so I've made a separate little function, play dog sound, and I've got a delay on it. So this is the delay right at the beginning when you're flicking in between the two development environments and hitting that play button. You usually get this slight delay happening, so you need to cater for that to get the lip synchronization on spot with the sound file. So then when you hit the sound file, that'll play this then in synchronization with the animation. I've got a set timer. You can, in here where you've added the sound, you can get the sound length, and I've set a timer in there again, so when the sound is finished, I go back to an idle face thing. So in here now, we can now test that what we just did. So let's move over. We're in the trigger point now. I like dogs.
Aren't dogs the best? Don't you just love it when they dig up your garden, crap all over your boots, and destroy your new top on the clothesline, all in one day, and still you love it? Why? Is it because you are mad, crazy, or nuts?
So there you go, we've got a response in there now for Sarah when you say you like dogs. So you got to the end of me stumbling through trying to explain all of this. As you can see, it's a big process to set it all up and get it all going. But once you do have it all going, you'd be quite surprised as to how quickly you can actually push these responses out. You can make quite a few a day. And the beauty about it is you've got complete control over the whole thing. So every response can be made believable. Like if Sarah was angry, you could make her look angry and have an angry response, or if she was happy, you could make that response happen. It's all up to you and how you want to customize and build out each response to the conversation path. So that's all there is to it. And if anyone out there wants a hand like putting this stuff together and bringing in some conversational experiences to their characters in their games, feel free to contact myself. Other than that, we'll be saying goodbye. Goodbye, Sarah.
See you later, meatbags. Stay peaceful, work together, and be kind to each other.